Why, hello there, every pony. Remember a long time ago I said I would be redoing Chapter 2 and then do Chapter 3 of My Little GLaDOS? Well, here we are. I'm going to be doing the heavily edited Whiplash Chapter 2 of no, not Folly Question, My Little GLaDOS. Ah, yes, little ponies. This is what you have been waiting for, isn't it? It still has, My Little GLaDOS has the most views on of anything else on my channel. So, yes, let us get straight into the business. A note from the author. Ugh, I'm so sorry for the second chapter. Well, that's what happens when I'm experiencing conflicting emotions of grief and intoxication whilst writing fanfiction. It leads me to make dumb mistakes, below average writing, and publishing it without letting my friends pre-read it. Well, I've gotten over my personal problems, so now it's time to get back on track. Get back on track, back on track, get on track, back on track. I'm sorry, I love I love remix, and I have a remix that I really love by Renard, and it has that part in its song. It's my favorite. Yay! I like that song. It's makes me want to party. I've decided to heavily edit this chapter because it's just so OOC, it'll hinder the rest of the story. And while editing it, I had to take away a lot of jokes, including the fat joke. But don't worry, they'll all appear in later chapters, including a better confrontation between GLaDOS and Rainbow. Again, I'm sorry for doing this to people who already liked the chapter, but it's like I'm pregnant with a child that I didn't want. That has some horrible connotations, sir. I'm not going to go any further. Genetic engineering. I'll edit that when I come to it. When I come up with a better analogy. Apparently, they haven't in a long time. Because it's been, what, months now? I am so sorry for being so horribly late. Twilight will kick my flank if she finds out. Anyway, here's the heavily edited Chapter 2, and Chapter 3 will be arriving shortly. It's already up to like Chapter 5. Chapter 6, actually. Oh, wait, no, it's 5. Chapter 6 is an extended author's note. Vote now if you want me to read that. Because I don't think I want to read an extended author's note. Oh well, I probably would. Probably should. Anyway, I know the main 6 will still seem a little too friendly with GLaDOS, but wait. Their next chapter will delve deeper into each of their opinions. And here's a nice little quote from C.S. Lewis. When we lose one blessing, another is often most unexpectedly given in its place. Hey partner, you feeling okay? Applejack cocked her head to the side a bit. GLaDOS did the same. The puzzled cow pony shot her head back up, quirking a brow. Do you need something? Are you sick? Maybe I can. GLaDOS just thought of drowning out the pony's insipid chatter, trying her best to seem interested, so as not to anger the inhabitant. She drowned out the pony's teeth-grinding accent, delving into her own thoughts. She took note of how disproportionately massive the equine's eyes were. Whether it was a birth defect or not was uncertain. As the orange pony went on to ramble about strange phenomena such as Canterlot and Celestia, GLaDOS bitterly thought, does he ever stop talking? Perhaps I should try speaking in a slow, comprehensible manner so its primitive, torpid mind can make sense of my predicament. GLaDOS blew the bushel of hair out of her face, revealing a set of glazed yellow orbs. Her half-opened eyes were trying to physically show she's uninterested in conversing. A fact that didn't occur with the friendly Earth Pony, who buckled her knees, allowing the basket to slide off onto the grass at the base of the slope. Out of curiosity, GLaDOS stared into the silhouetted town in the distance, then scanned the area around her. finding nothing but tall, uninspired mountains and a dense forest, acting as a backdrop for the forest to the village ahead. While the taller crags seemed to have some form of civilization welded to the side. The newly arrived mayor thought nonchalantly. Apart from that, nothing. Not another form of civilization technologically capable of constructing even the most basic of aperture trinkets. Not even a primitive material emancipation grill. A new terrifying thought entered GLaDOS' mind. I'm stuck in an uncharted, nearly uninhabited land with little means of going back, and I only have this neck-bearded equine to converse with. Wait, I think it's a female. GLaDOS. As her breaths silently hyperventilated, Applejack acted in a friendly manner while spreading a blanket over the grass. So where's you from, partner? Canterlot? Manhattan? She ran her hooves across the checkered blanket, smoothing it out. GLaDOS' return passive expression was unchanged. I have no idea what this idiot is talking about. Where from? No, I can't let them know. I'm not even sure if this race is hostile. She watched Applejack gently grasp a pitcher of cider in her maw. I can't be too sure. I can't remember. She gave herself a mental pat on the back. Applejack gave her new companion a quizzical look. You don't remember? Oh gosh. My friend Twilight could help take care of that problem. Could help take care of you. No problem. Just stay here, and we'll get you settled in Ponyville. GLaDOS' eyes twitched at the name Ponyville. Native, the Earth Pony finished arranging the pitcher of apple cider in the center of the blanket, and directed her attention to the speaker. GLaDOS' eyes fell to the ground for a moment, choosing the right form of words that'll surely receive a calm, sensible response. I don't need your help, she blurted. I just require an audience with your leader. Applejack stared at the pearl white pony she'd grown a second head. As the strange pony made her way towards Ponyville, the cow pony felt she had to intervene. Whoa, partner! Don't get ahead of yourself now. She stepped in the white mare's path, who returned a detesting scowl. I understand y'all want to get back home, but y'all can't just barge on Princess Celestia like that. Just give it time, and we'll get you back home before you can say apple. Blah. Just give it time, and we'll get you back home before you can say Applebuck season. The alabaster pony's ears slunk to their sides in defeat, as did her perked brows. You've got to be Why did I have to bump into the equine with a birth defect? Knowing when she's beaten, the only thing the silver-tongued mare could mutter in response was, "Fastest." Pardon? Nothing. AJ continued, thinking she'd gotten the new visitor all figured out. When it comes to GLaDOS, you never have her all figured out. Well, my friend, I'm Applejack, and you're in the land of Equestria. She held her hoof out, pointing in some random direction as if she was presenting the country itself. I have to say, it's quite odd hearing about a pony who just woke up in the middle of a field with no memory of where they came from. But don't fret, the princesses will help you out. The princess will help you out. And in the meantime, my home is your home. Once more, GLaDOS looked around at the random mountains and limitless plains of nothingness. Seems cozy. Thanks for the information, she said numbly. It sure is. And up there, the cowboy pointed to the settlement propped on the side of the mountain. That's where Princess Celestia lives. She rules the entire place with a heart of gold. Yep, she's a real peach. Okay. Applejack closed her eyes and smiled proudly. GLaDOS rolled her eyes, dryly muttering, "Just kidding about. You're just kidding. You're about as useful as an atom with no protons. Oh, fuck! Oh, any pony who gets that joke, comment and say you got it. Not fully understanding what the newcomer meant, Applejack presumed it was a compliment. Hey, thanks, partner. The blonde earth pony gave the other a friendly bump on the shoulder. GLaDOS looked down, eyeing her solid alabaster hooves with contempt. Maybe if I can inflict enough physical trauma to my forehead. Face hoof. Her thoughts were rudely interrupted by her unwanted companion. Here comes the cavalry. She nodded. She trotted beside her new friend, who took a wide step away to the left. Approaching the duo were 5 other ponies carting various dishes and meals held in various containers and covered bowls. As they advanced toward the picnic site, AJ leaned over and muttered to the tense earth pony, "Just relax, Sugarcube. Get to know every pony. Make friends." GLaDOS' response was her eyelids twitching at the phrase "Sugarcube" and "every pony." Yes, I love this. The reactions of outsiders to the phrases of the pony folk is nice. It's very nice. Huh. Hey, Applejack. A cyan Pegasus fluttering overhead greeted as she set a bowl of potato salad beside the cider. Who's your friend? GLaDOS awed at the area pony, then masked it with a detested sour look. Ugh, what pit of radioactive muck did that thing waddle through? This is a new friend of mine. She's a little off, but of a good sort. No, I am not their friend. What a ridiculous concept. I will not have these lesser creatures refer to me as friend. Acquaintance maybe, and perhaps companions in 20 years, but no, not friends. Just refer to me as GLaDOS. Trying to impress the newcomer, Rainbow Dash made several sharp turns and zigzags through the air, before skidding to a halt mere inches away from the real newcomer. Well, I'm Rainbow Dash, she proudly boasted, smugly closing her dark pink eyes. Fastest flower in all Equestria. Wait, whoa, ho. Dark pink is red. I'm just gonna say that right now. Okay, that may be wrong, but anytime I've seen dark pink, it's always looked either red or like mud, kind of like pink mud. Anyways, not fun. Let's go. She held out her hoof for GLaDOS to shake. The latter pony eyed the outstretched hoof, then Rainbow. Insistently, she sensed oh, 1 second, I need to figure out this. GLaDOS' vocabulary is too big. Vainglorious atmosphere, thick with conceited pomp. What? Do you want me to kiss it? She snapped. Rainbow's eyes shut open for a brief moment before she fell into a hysterical cackle. Wiping away an invisible tear, she said to the irked earth pony, "You're right, GLaDOS. I can't wait to hang out some more." And with that, she darted towards Fluttershy, who regarded the outsider with a timid indifference that the others noted with subtle surprise. Whoa. The second GLaDOS's featureless canary yellow eyes passed over her, she nervously waved a hoof and tried inconspicuously hide behind Rainbow Dash. I like her, the once artificial being thought positively. She doesn't talk. I guess that's why she likes Chell so much. A pony as white as GLaDOS' coat levitated a plate of daisy sandwiches onto the blanket. The newcomer's eyes widened, her heart skipping a beat at the sight of the icy glow enveloping the unicorn's horn and meal. You can't tell how relieved I am that your race is advanced enough to have created 0-point energy field manipulators. Ha! She chuckled softly, sensing a huge wave of relief wash over her back, only to realize that it was the literal warmth of sunlight bathing the rolling plains. Applejack and Murdy exchanged befuddled glances. GLaDOS? GLaDOS here's a little sick. She don't remember where she comes from, so I reckon I might as well take her in. The pair took a brief gander at the earth pony. Gander? Really? Who was pawing at the dirt and examining it closely. An awkward silence followed, accompanied by the excited chatter between the 4 ponies in the background. Applejack awkwardly cleared her throat. At least until the princess can help her. Rarity nodded understandably, and approached the black-maned pony while exhibiting a pleasant smile. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you, GLaDOS. I am Rarity. Welcome to Ponyville. She held a hoof out, expecting GLaDOS to partake in a hoof shake. I'm quite flattered you've taken a liking to my magic. The awkward pony took a small step back, glaring at the unicorn with malice, who retracted her hoof. Oh, I apologize. Did I offend? Oh, here it comes. In a steadfast tone, GLaDOS said, "You're offending me with your presence. Go away." Rarity huffed and turned, finding her place at the opposite end of the blanket next to Fluttershy. How rude! She scoffed. On the opposite end of the blanket, Pinkie Pie opened her own basket to reveal a trio of balloons that lifted the basket into the air, carrying it away. The party pony shot an ear-to-ear grin at GLaDOS, who in turn felt a shiver crawl up her spine. Deep inside, she supposed the supposedly shy pony had never been so stunned in her entire life. And how long has that life been, do you reckon? Magic? The very thought of the word seemed insane. Magic? Pegasi? Unicorns? It's like I'm in a land designed by a child. And to top it all off, I'm the worthless breed like the yolk in that interesting subject. Like the yolk in that interesting subject. Oh, what? I don't get it. Like the yolk in that. Oh, interesting subject. Chell. Yes. Every one of these frantic ideas ran through GLaDOS's mind as she managed to display an unemotional expression. Her sullen eyes fell upon the dug spot, causing her to proceed in her prior investigation of examining the fine, coarse dirt. Everything in this land is so fresh, so fertile. Nothing like the soil and greenery from my dimension. Then again, we all have Black Mesa to blame for that. What is Black Mesa? As the lilac unicorn advanced on the lone mare, she shot the fashionista a perturbed glare. "Greetings, my friend," she began, tensions dissolving in the air as the silence was broken. "My name is Twilight Sparkle. On behalf of Princess Celestia, and as her personal student, I welcome you to Ponyville." GLaDOS's ears perked up at the phrase student. I apologize for Rarity's up-close and personal greeting, but there's no need to be nervous. She ended with a friendly chuckle, then noticed the pony's tense shoulders, assuming she was nervous or upset. Or then noticed. Blah! She ended with a friendly chuckle, then noticed the pony's tense shoulders, assuming she was nervous or upset. Twilight spoke in a gentler tone. "Hey, don't worry. I'll ride to Princess Celestia tonight, and you'll be back home before you can say magic." "Magic," GLaDOS said dryly. Can I leave now?" Twilight laughed, brushing off the newcomer's question as a joke. "In the meantime, just settle in. Make some friends even. I'm sure you'll get along with every pony just fine." Twilight nodded at the end of her greeting before taking a seat in between Applejack and Rarity. The ponies chattered and spoke of their recent endeavors as GLaDOS stood idly by, delving into her own thoughts. Kohl shaded coal-shaded hair rustling in the slight breeze. Again with the every pony garbage. Dear Lord, this is unbearable. And I'm not nervous about that, about social indifference. And I'm not nervous about social indifferences. I'm more concerned about how these infernal creatures are so unnaturally friendly. She hung her head in shame without a word, appearing depressed to the other ponies. Anybody who's this friendly is obviously hiding something. I can't survive in this place. I'm completely powerless, at the mercy of these unpredictable and unsanitary creatures. She eyed the pink pony, burying her face in a bowl of watercress soup. Applejack waved to her new friend. Come on, GLaDOS. Gladys. Come on, GLaDOS. There's plenty of food to go around. Upon hearing this, GLaDOS felt a peculiar grumble coming from her midsection, audible to the other ponies, all other ponies' ears. The foreign sound made the 6 ponies laugh, leaving the new pony helplessly confused. What was that? She said flatly. Still giggling, Rarity said, Darling, that means you're hungry. Here, have some of this delicious cake Pinkie Pie made. Said Pony smiled proudly. GLaDOS's ears perked at the word cake. Of course, she never tried it before, and never cared for it in the first place, considering it was an unnecessary pleasantry of humans. Twilight motioned GLaDOS over to sit across from her, beside Pinkie and Rainbow Dash. The expressionless mare reluctantly accepted. She rested her haunches on a blanket, eyeing all of the ponies proceeding to enjoy their meals. Fluttershy gently cut a thick slice of moist chocolate cake with pink frosting in between layers, and spread over the top. Oh, that sounds so good. I want some cake now. GLaDOS cursed her weak, mortal brain for succumbing to the petty needs and desires of human nature. But then again, it did look good. The large triangular piece presented itself on a paper dish. She didn't want to eat like an animal, like how the other ponies were, proceeding to simply dig their faces into the food, aside from the unicorns making use of their magic. Very diligently, GLaDOS craned her head down, opening her maw only the tiniest bit possible. She nipped at the corner before pulling away, chewing contently. GLaDOS's eyes widened. Her lips quivered uncontrollably as the dessert slid down her throat. Without thinking, the former AI yelled, That's disgusting! That's disgusting! Is this the garbage I've been feeding my test subjects? Dear Lord, the neurotoxin was a godsend! Sweet Celeste. GLaDOS, you are a riot. The critical pony cringed at the aftertaste swishing around in her mouth. Pinkie Pie's lip quivered, offended by the mare's insult. Rainbow noticed this and stood up on all fours to defend her friend. Hey, who asked your opinion? Who asked you for your opinion? For your opinion anyway? Staring straight ahead with a blank face, GLaDOS simply stated, "What's the point of making something if you don't want it criticized?" She watched the other ponies exchange staid glares, or in the case of Rainbow Dash, hostility. Just as the brash pony was about to lunge, unleashing the fury of her front hooves, she was yanked back by her tail. She unceremoniously hit the ground, leaving Applejack to cough out a mouthful of technicolor hair. Applejack, what gives? She didn't like Pinkie's cake. That doesn't give you a signal to start wailing on our new guest. She looked over at the black and white pony, who seemed unfazed by the Pegasus' outburst. Now look, partner. I know you're probably scared and confused, but that doesn't mean you can go around starting fights. The cow pony sat back down on the blanket, giving Pinkie a rough pat on the back. Are you okay, Sugar Cube? The pony's frizzled mane bobbed as she cleared her throat. Yeah, I'm fine. She smiled faintly, turning to GLaDOS. I'm sorry you didn't like my cake, Gladdy, but how can no pony like my cake? Every pony likes my cake. The neon pink pony investigated her desserts further. Oh. The neon pink pony investigated the desserts further. thinking she added the wrong ingredient. Seconds later, she burst out laughing. Oops! Silly me, the earth pony snorted. I accidentally took the cake with the burnt half. No wonder you thought it was all yucky. GLaDOS rolled her eyes. Do you always poison your guests? Piggy laughed some more. Of course not, silly. Apple Bloom thought she could earn her key mark in baking, so I must have grabbed the practice cake instead of the one for the picnic. Upon hearing this humorous revelation, every pony erupted in laughter. Every pony but GLaDOS. How can these morons laugh at such a critical error? The ponies continued their meal while recalling their most recent escapades with a dormant dragon in the Everfree Forest. The very idea of such an asinine creature just boggled GLaDOS' mind. The ponies went on to talk about trivial matters such as winter wrap-up and Hearth's Warming Eve. To GLaDOS, these alien activities and holidays made this whole universe appear just as a sick parody of her world. The ponies were unproductive. Their leader is a monarch, and the biggest crisis to occur in this town is preparing to kiss their master's hooves. And worst of all, there was an astonishing lack of even the notion of something scientific, as if this place was stuck in medieval times. One sec, I think someone's here. Alright, I am back in my room. The acoustics may be a little weird, but alright. For the first time in her whole life, a rather activated period of time, GLaDOS felt genuine irritation. Dear God, this whole place is worse than Wheatley, or the corrupted core that yammers on about space. Space. Purple horse, GLaDOS stated. That's Twilight Sparkle. Her pony said pony corrected her politely. Loathing smart mouths, the alabaster pony's brow twitched in irritation. Purple horse, she repeated, her sadistic nature taking pleasure in another's expense, no matter how little a reaction she received. Twilight replied with a disgruntled, "Yes. Are there any forms of technology on this land? Any at all?" Heh. A brightened smile crossed Twilight's face. Of course there are. I've got the most advanced equestrian technology at my place. Her ears perked up at a sudden thought and entered her brain, followed by an excited gasp. Maybe I can show you when we get back to Ponyville. I've always wanted a friend interested in science. She squealed in delight, clapping her hooves together. GLaDOS felt a sudden jolt shoot up her chest. This feeling, could it be? Is it? Oh no. Ugh, that's just my gag reflex. GLaDOS sighed, fearing this was just the beginning of a very stressful adventure. But nonetheless, she was glad that there was not only an intelligent being inhabiting this land of useless fashion divas and racers, but also a plethora of advanced technology. Perhaps this won't be as grueling as I thought. Well, hopefully we'll get back to the facility before that little moron turns Michigan into a 10-mile crater. Oh, page break. Zecora continued her ever perilous trek towards her cottage, through the Everfree Forest, silently humming a nursery rhyme from her village, with the moss-covered trees and narrow rays of light piercing the closed canopy being all too familiar. Zecora felt as though she could walk to Ponyville and back with a blindfold on. Paying no mind to the road that lay ahead, the zebra was too indulged in her song to notice any object lying in her path, which she absentmindedly kicked. When she absentmindedly kicked it, Zebra reeled back, expecting to find a small animal writhing in pain. But what she found was some sort of tool, an object vaguely resembling a large beetle. What is this tool I see before me? It looks as though it came from a Con Main movie. She lightly chuckled at her own joke. Zecora approached the glossy white object, now smeared with dirt and grime. She gently tapped it, mulling over this foreign object's purpose. Whatever its purpose may be, I'm almost certain it's an experiment from that Twilight pony. The device was clearly forged of metal, a pricey item rarely found in Equestria. It might have been a prosthetic arm when studying the three finger-like prongs. Zecora prodded it with a hoof, unintentionally discovering its true purpose and nearly getting a heart attack in the process. From the center of the claw, an orange ball of unknown energy shot out, screaming along the damp ground at a frightening speed before erupting against a tree root in a small plume of orange sparks. Zecora pressed a hoof to her chest, taking in deep, panting breaths. She had never seen such a dangerous tool before. She knew not of its purpose, but she knew whoever it belonged to should not get this back. What demon unleashed this weapon of hate? Very diligently, she picked the device up by its now amber-glowing tube. I must bring this to Twilight before it's too late. The zebra turned and made a dash for Ponyville. And Patrick, and author's note. Anyone who's willing to draw a more story-accurate cover will be greatly rewarded with stuff. As you can see from the picture, it has been done. This has been Chapter 2. Very heavily edited. By Obelisk of Death. My Little GLaDOS, Whiplash. Heavily edited. By Obelisk of Death, again. And the banner is so cute. It's adorable. Alright, next up is Vanilla and Octavia. Chapter 8, I believe. Good night, and party hardy.